Ghosts in your gallery? Bats in your belfry? Ghouls in the gutter? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to avoid being stuck with a haunted house, the 3 different types of hauntings, the 11 signs that your house may be occupied by unwanted visitors, and what you can do to get rid of ghosts if you have them. So stick around till the end, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get right into it. If you want to avoid getting stuck buying a haunted house, I would do these 3 things before signing on the dotted line. The first thing is to ask your realtor or the former owner, have there been any homicides in the house? Now, I know there's no real delicate way to say that, but you need to know these things. The second thing that I would ask is, was this house built on any ancient burial grounds? You're a prospective homeowner. You have the right to know these things, and that's a heck of a lot better than finding out 6 months later after being waken up every night to the sounds of, "Get out!" And the third thing that I would do is do a walkthrough, check all the closets, and check the attic. And if you see a doll that looks like Chucky, well, that's gotta be a deal breaker right there. Especially if the doll starts talking. But seriously, the best thing that I know to do to avoid getting stuck in a house that's either haunted or has bad energy is just simply this. Before you buy or before you rent a home, forget what it looks like, forget the neighborhood, forget if the shag rug is orange instead of green. Just clear your mind, be present, no prejudgment, just be present. Gauge what you feel and then walk into the house, and do you feel better or do you feel worse? Or do you feel like something is watching you, or things start flying? But seriously, if you don't feel a good feeling from the house, there's a reason for that, and move on to the next. There's 3 different types of hauntings. There may be more, and if you know of any others, please comment it for us down below. But the first one's not really a haunting at all, but rather what I call an energy loop or a thought form. And what can happen, and they talk about this in The Shining, with the little girl constantly seeing the same murder over and over again. And what can happen is there's a particularly traumatic event where there's really, really strong emotions. It kind of creates a ripple effect in time and space, and it kind of gets held in that space. Energy moves in crests and troughs, so whenever a crest comes in, somebody sensitive may actually see a murder being reenacted. Ooh, how scary. Chances are, you may want to get the history of the house you're living in. So the second type of haunting is really not a haunting either, and that's just your loved ones from the other side coming to visit, or spirits that once lived in that house coming to visit. Now, spirits, can manifest in the physical by finding familiar energy signatures. So where somebody lived has their vibration in it. It's the same thing with a graveyard. They're decomposing bodies, exude energy that's their energy, so they can reconnect to the physical that way. Whether it's ghosts or people that are fully crossed over, that's why they can come back to their house just to check up. If it's people from the other side, it's very benevolent. You may know they're there, you may not, but they're not going to bother you. In fact, if anything, they may protect you. Then the third type of haunting is actually a ghost. And ghost phenomena is basically when spirits, for whatever reason, don't find the light and don't fully cross over. That is extremely, extremely rare. Maybe 1 in 1,000 spirits don't cross over. And of course, if you figure, according to the Blue Oyster Cult song, that 140,000 men and women die every day, if only 1 in 1,000 of those don't make it to the other side and become ghosts, and then you have to figure that ghosts don't die because they're already dead. So a ghost could conceivably be on the earth plane for hundreds of years. So if you figure 1 in 1,000 become ghosts, 140,000 die every day, that's how many per year. That leaves, let me calculate this, how many ghosts are wandering the earth. 140,000 times 365. That's a lot of freaking ghosts. So there are a lot of ghosts, a lot of hauntings. But again, most ghosts are also benevolent. It's very rare that you get a malefic ghost, but still, it can be a little bit unnerving. Let me tell you about 11 different signs that your house is actually haunted. Do you have any good, juicy ghost stories? If so, feel free to comment them down below. I love a good ghost story. And share with us. I do read all my comments. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you like what we're doing here, please do subscribe. There's a lot of content on different facets of mediumship and psychic phenomena, as well as law of attraction videos. So this is all part of the spirituality behind the message. So subscribe, hit the little bell, then you'll get notified when I release free live mediumship events. Let me tell you the 11 signs, and then I'll tell you what to do about it if you have these signs and your house is indeed haunted. So the first one is just basically seeing ghosts or apparitions or movement. And I used to live on a street, and across the street there was an old house, and in the upstairs by the window, every now and then I'd see an old lady sitting there, and then sometimes I wouldn't. But only a young couple lived there. There were no old people living in the house. So that's an example, a classic example of a house ghost. Another sign is just feeling uncomfortable or feeling like you're being watched. Because if that's happening, you probably are. And then the third sign is actually feeling temperature changes in the house, particularly cold spots. And for non-physical entities like ghosts to manifest physically takes a lot of energy, and they draw that energy from the environment, and hence you have cold spots. And then the fourth is just basically the electronics, and you may get things like lights blinking or TVs turning on and off, or I've had texts come up on my text field, like one female spirit one summer followed me around a few days and wrote on my text field, "I hope you're having a good day, honey." And then when my dad passed the day after, the phone rang once and stopped, and then his unmistakable voice, like father, like son, I guess, emanated from that phone. So another common sign is odors, like smelling cigarettes when nobody smokes, or other odors or pure perfumes. Another sign could be pets acting funny, and I used to have a cat that just out of the blue, like her tail would fluff up, and she would her back would fluff up. So watching the animals, or young children for that matter, can be a good barometer of ghost activity in your house. So another sign might be objects moving. There's actually a poltergeist phenomena when things fly, but those usually aren't ghosts. Those are usually telekinetic activity, usually stemming from a teenager, usually a female. But ghosts can move things, and really malefic ones can, make things fly. And sometimes something may just kind of knock over, and it's just a spirit just trying to get your attention. And another sign, a way they can get your attention, is just from taps or shoves. And another sign, which is number 9, like number 9 dream from John Lennon, is bad dreams or getting nightmares, and especially if it's in a particular place or a particular room. Like, for example, if there's a room where you sleep in and you always get bad dreams, chances are that room has spirit activity. Another sign you might get are hearing voices or whispers. And another sign that's actually very disconcerting when it happens is sleep paralysis, and feeling like you're being held down or it's hard to breathe. And sometimes people feel movement on their bed and stuff like that. I mean, I get that a lot. And the thing is that you can break that. So if that happens to you, through your force of will, you can break that hold. And you're not gonna, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. But still, it's a little bit unnerving. I mean, when it's happened to me, it's been unnerving also. Let me finish up by telling you a few things that you can do if you have these signs. One thing is you can rally up your force of will and tell them to leave. And I remember when I first started doing mediumship, and after a really long night, if I was really open and I was trying to sleep, I would often hear like voices, people talking, but these weren't the nice family spirits that were coming through. They're kind of like lower astral, scummy spirits, like men in bars talking about women, those kind of spirits. And at one point I just had it was like 3 in the morning. I had to get up at 7 or 8, and I just yelled at the top of my lungs, "Get the out! I am trying to sleep." And then I laid down, and then a minute or two later I realized it's quiet. I don't hear them anymore. Good, stay away. So sometimes you can just tell them to leave. Sometimes you can smudge using sage or palo santo or something that raises the vibration. The key is raising the vibration, and a lower level entity cannot be in a higher vibrational field. So if you do stuff like that, it won't deter the good spirits, but it will deter the bad ones. Now, you can also do a ritual called the spirit candle, where you light a candle and you place it by a window, say, and you charge it. Like, what you can do is you can actually hold the candle and in your mind see it as a portal or a doorway to the other side, and then set the intention to the spirits that if you are here and you wish to cross over, follow the light. Because a lot of spirits will come to you, especially if you do have mediumistic abilities, or you have a particularly bright light. Spirits that want to cross over but can't figure out how might be gravitating towards you. This happens to children a lot, so utilizing spirit candles is good. You can also call on a professional to clean your house, like a shaman, or a Catholic priest, or somebody that practices Wicca or alternative religions. They know techniques using crystals or using incantations or smudging or stuff like that can help you to get rid of the spirits for you. If you have spirits, it's not the end of the world. Usually they're really good. Usually they're benevolent. And if they're not, there are ways to get rid of them. That's what I have for you today. Again, please give this video a thumbs up. That tells YouTube to share this content with more people. And have a really safe Halloween and a happy Samhain. And I will see you at the next video.